Hi there, my name is Keith and I'd like to talk to you about the latest movie that I've seen. What's it called? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's got an evil stepmother, it's got a fairy godmother, it's got a very sweet young girl who's completely underappreciated by the women that she lives with, and it's got a prince that's somewhat charming. If you guessed Cinderella, you are correct. Now if you're wondering what the heck am I doing going to see Cinderella, well, I'm Witty Whittier and I'll pretty much see anything. Now, as a child growing up, I saw Cinderella, and I'm hoping most of you have as well. Of course, the beautiful tale of a young girl who is living with her evil stepmother. She ends up going to the ball, courtesy of her fairy godmother. She turns the head of the prince. She has to leave before midnight, and then the prince begins this epic search for her. I don't necessarily think that's a spoiler alert. Quite frankly, if you don't know the story of Cinderella, go and talk to your parents about having an incomplete childhood. This movie was, again, based on a beautiful story that we've all seen growing up. And if you're seeing this for the first time, what a retelling of this story. Here in the year 2015, and this movie being put on by Disney, they spare no expense, and this is very much a big budget movie. You see that with the beautiful sets that are decorated, you see that with the fantastic costumes that are designed by Academy Award winner Sandy Powell. This is an event. It's an event that seemed to bring out a lot of young women and their parents. Quite frankly, I was touched to see a lot of young girls dressed up in their little Cinderella-type dresses and gowns coming out to see this movie. And I definitely think if you've got some young ones at home, you want to take them to this. And I think as an adult or as a parent going and reliving this story, you'll love it as well. Lily James plays Cinderella, and she does a fairly decent role. From what I understand, she's done some theater. She's got a theater background, and it can definitely show in this movie. But also, I have to point out that this is directed by Kenneth Branagh. Academy Award nominee Kenneth Branagh, who's done such other projects such as Thor and a lot of the different Shakespearean movies that we saw back in the 90s. Along for the ride also is Cate Blanchett, who plays an exceptionally wicked stepmother. I always feel that when an actor can evoke emotion from the audience, she's doing a great job, and she was nasty. Good job, Miss Blanchett. And Helena Bonham Carter also did a fantastic job as the fairy godmother. I think my only criticism of her role is that it was too short, and I would have loved to have seen more of her in the movie. Overall, this movie was very entertaining, and I give it a B-. I'm not necessarily saying it's probably the best rendition of Cinderella. For me, I'm kind of old school, and I'll probably go back to the cartoon. But if you're seeing Cinderella for the first time, and I'm speaking to the young ones now, you're probably going to absolutely love this movie. Again, Cinderella was very sweet and very pretty, and she was very nice, whether she was scrubbing floors or whether she was attending the ball. And the spirit that lived on with her through her family was very much evident in her, and she was a nice role model. Overall, it's a nice touchy-feely movie. Is it going to be for everybody? Probably not. Considering the movie theater was dominated by mostly women, I don't see a group of guys getting together and saying, "Hey, what are we doing this Saturday night? Let's all go see Cinderella." But at the same token, if you're brought along on a date, I don't necessarily think you're going to mind it. So at the end of the day, this movie gets a B- for me, and if you check it out, I'd love to hear what you think about it. How can you tell me what you think about it? I'll give you a couple of ways. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier and WittyWhittier.com. I appreciate you checking out this blog, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.